Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Oh,
episode 97. You had something to say?
I didn't have anything to say.
Oh,
Say
well.
hello.
Oh, hello, yes. Episode 97 of Dissonant Waves.
Yay!
Yay.
In three more episodes, we'll reach number 100, and we'll still be on the same level of success as episode one.
Yeah.
The dream, baby.
Yeah,
We are the world's most consistent podcast.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
We're just living the dream, living life, having fun, listening to albums and EPs galore. This is something of an all-star episode, albums or artists we covered before and seem to like to some degree.
Yeah.
We got of Montreal's the Sunlandic Twins and the Sunlandic Twins bonus EP. Shakey Graves' And the War Came, and Morbid Stuff by Pup.
Yeah.
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 That's a callback to the last All Stars episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
anyway.
which one do we want to start off with, and if we
So
want to dive straight into?
I guess the thing I would like to say about this overall is I think these are really good examples of like albums done by the artists that we like that are maybe not their best but are pretty good for the most part. Indicative of their sound, solid examples of who they are as artists, but you know, they're better ones.
Well, fully disagree with the pop, but I think we already went through that a little bit throughout the week outside of this podcast.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping to get into, I guess, is the pop thing.
You want to get into the pop first. So, look, there are probably parts of this, I'll get the backstory of this album in a bit. There are probably parts of this where the enjoyment does depend on which one you listen to first, Unraveling or Morbid Stuff. For me, I have listened to Morbid Stuff first. I listened to it the day it came out because I was excited for it. And then you two obviously didn't listen to pop until I brought up Unraveling, so...
Yes.
Well, I mean, in that sense, I think I showed a song or something beforehand, but still. And I also kind of disagree a bit when it comes to, like, it's a whole showcase of this sound that we're doing this album. Pop actually changed the sound quite a bit, because, the difference between Morbid Stuff and Dream Is Over, just in its heaviness alone, was night and day. But before I get into that, I guess I should actually go into the backstory behind this album. So, I discovered Pop 20, like a lot of people did, because of because in that year, they released the Sleep in the Heat music video, which had Finn Wolfhard obviously returning for his roles in Pop.
What year you say you cut out there?
2016. But I actually discovered them just a bit before that, when they released their single DVP, which obviously right now is their biggest single. And that was playing on Triple J quite a lot, and I kept listening to it. It was a big song for me in uni. It was on my playlist practically constantly. And then the album came out. I actually put that album in my top 10 of 2016, but now that I know more albums came out in 2016, it's still not quite there.
So Dream Is Over was popular for you back then.
But yeah, it was a popular album back then. So I was excited when in 2019 we finally got some more singles or new release from Pops and the announcement of Morbid Stuff, and I was kind of not really expecting it, as I ended up thinking it was, because my whilst my enjoyment of pop songs is over, that I actually still listen didn't wane. My enjoyment of it as an album, I did start to see a lot more of its flaws now that I'd gone a little less angsty. But surprisingly, with Morbid Stuff coming out, it was even angst. And I don't know if it was a nostalgia thing, if that's what every white man in their early 20s is since 1998, but it just hit me well, and I ended up having this as one of my favorite records of the year in 2019. Number 3, I think I put it as, behind King Gizzard and Local Natives, and I mean that was actually the year we started this podcast, so I was tempted to bring it up, but I was mostly doing Australian artists.
Yeah.
Which was the one reason that I didn't bring it up, and maybe I should have brought it back up then. Maybe I would have had a different look into all this, but here we are now. I like this record because it's fucking dark when it needs to be. I'll go into an essay about Scorpion Hill later because I'm talking a bit too much. But like you have lyrics on see you at your funeral. The I hope we all die. I hope the world. I hope the world explodes. I hope that we all die. We can watch our highlights in hell. I hope they're televised. It's fucking funny and it's also just great.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess the thing I have is that I feel like there are songs on Unraveling that sound a lot like kind of the spoken word punky songs that are on here. Like, I feel like a song like Closure or Morbid Stuff even would fit just as well as Unraveling in terms of like stylistically what they're doing, what Stefan Babcock is like doing with his vocals, what the instrumentation is doing. I think Unraveling perhaps is a bit more grand in its presentation with the whole.
Oh, definitely is a lot more grand on Unraveling, but
yes, but as far as like the verses go and kind of the progression of the songs, I feel like if I was paying more attention to the point where I was like memorizing each of the albums, I would really confuse them a lot.
Well, I think that comes to what my problem with Unraveling kind of was. That whilst they obviously had other issues with kind of revolving around the that weren't revolving around anything. The issue was that there wasn't that much evolution of the sound, and I still think the songs were a lot better executed on Morbid Stuff here than they were on Unraveling. And like, that's not to say that there aren't songs off Unraveling that I like in the playlist. Like, I listen to Matilda, and I still like Waiting quite a bit. Like songs like
I will say
songs
real quick,
like Relentless. I just want to quickly put on my point. Like songs like Relentless, you can easily see the like that could fit on Morbid Stuff on a station. I don't think it's lyrically could be fitting on Morbid Stuff because Morbid Stuff theme mostly is in its lyrics. But yeah, I guess I can see like you have gone into the I've heard this all before, but the problem is that you've heard it all after then before. So you're all fucked up on it.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you to reconnect possibly because you're so choppy.
Give me chop. How do I sound now?
Good for now. Yes.
Good for now, but
yeah,
hopefully that'll end now.
Yeah, your explanation was kind of like machine gun blast there for a while.
Apologies.
That's why I was trying to interrupt, but that's okay. But yeah, your point, like, and this is kind of thing I expected it to be, is that you heard this sequentially, and we heard it reverse sequence. So we like Unraveling because we heard that there first, and that's just our lens into the sound that they have. It's a good sound, but I think these two albums prove that it's just too similar. And yeah, like topics are different. Unraveling and Morbid Stuff, they deal with different things, but the style is still the same, I guess. And
the style and the sound is 100% same. But I mean, when it comes to Unraveling, it really doesn't have that same kind of nihilism stuff, which Morbid Stuff. Like this album is morbid with some of the stuff that it fits. Obviously, like Bloody Mary, Kate and Ashley, which kind of talks about doing a satanic ritual.
Yeah,
and it's Closure, which is about someone passing away pretty suddenly and not handle with that. I'd say the one sound also that kind of only really appears on the Unraveling album is Full Blown Meltdown, which I was actually kind of hoping that with Waiting coming as that's what Unraveling was going to sound a lot more like.
Yeah, and I think City is also a unique sound in this.
City, you said, or
City, yes.
Yeah, City is the one song on here. Well, I have two takes on this, and the one that's the popular one is I think the concept of City is still better than the actual song itself, because I like that they tried to go with the slow burner and actually do the grand outro, and the outro on it's fantastic, but I think it's done this a little too much. And then what my actual hot take of this album is, I think my least favorite of it, because whilst I still like this album and I like it quite a lot, this ain't a 10 for me. It's not even a very, very strong 9. It's like a heavy 8 to a light 9.
You're getting choppy again.
Sorry, that's probably That's probably just the internet in Australia. It's been raining here. I can't really
Okay,
about
that's
that.
fair. We'll deal with it as best we can.
Yeah.
But Free at Last, I'm not biggest fan of just because of where it is in the track listing.
Mhm.
It just really breaks the flow early. Like it comes back, but it's just one of those ones that could have been at the end for me.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like some of the B sides, like Anaphylactic or Rut, were like better songs.
I guess for me,
Yeah.
songs like "Free at Last" were more interesting. Where I think just "Closure" is a good example of like the song I would imagine on Unraveling, like having that overlap. Chicks, what do you think?
I haven't really said much. Apologies. It's late here and I'm kind of tired, but I'm
Good.
soldiering through. I'm with Domino here. I think I like the sound on Unraveling a little bit better. But there's some good to be had here too. But I think that just the sound is a lot more refined and better on Unraveling.
Yeah,
And I definitely feel like I would have a different appreciation for these albums if I listened to them in the proper order.
yeah, absolutely. And
I mean, maybe I did make a mistake here by picking it too early, but I did most.
I mean, I would have picked it if you hadn't picked it. Is really what it would have been, though.
Yeah.
And I think that's interesting conversation to have, though, is experiencing a discography in a different way than somebody else and having that create different meanings and different expectations.
Yeah, different context going into this. And I did expect to get a bit warmer of a reception, but what would this podcast be without me getting a reality check to my ego?
Yes. But like the songs like Full Blown Meltdown were more interesting because they were different. But like Scorpion Hill, I know you want to talk about. That song again is a little different as well, but
I will get to it at the end here because I'm going to go on a full fucking essay about it, but I'm going to let you people say what you say first.
I kind of want to explore the other records in a way because hopefully they're different. Hopefully they're more than this.
Definitely. I don't think I have any intentions of going with their self-titled, despite there being good songs on there, like on it, and Reservoir, which was obviously a Watch Dogs game. I do think maybe we'll probably go on to The Dream Is Over.
Yeah, it's just like I look at the list of like album like rankings that Morbid Stuff came on in 2019, like best of lists and top of a year, and I just don't see it. Like because I have Unraveling in mind, this feels like, it doesn't feel fresh. It doesn't feel like that revelation, and so number 5 according to the alternative, number 6 Forest FM, Consequence of Sound.
Number 3 according to Ritalin for Kids.
Number 3 according to Exclaim.
Fuck, I'm Exclaim.
That was their mid-year list as well, the Canadian publication. But I don't see what is so special about this sound this time that warrants all of that Unraveling also doesn't have. Unraveling has it all.
Look, if you two put out your points ahead, I'll start off by saying what's the kind of big reason why, and I've already kind of said a bit more of it, but then I'll go into the that. So if you two kind of said what you wanted to say, or Chicks, if you got anything else you want to
say. I don't have much to add. I have more to say about the other 2 albums.
Yeah, fair enough.
Go ahead.
So, big reason why this album's kind of here is, like, the sound change and stuff at the I'm not going to say like, oh, no one was caring about the sound here because music that works. But one of the big reasons this stands out is just lyrical, and there's a lot of themes that they explore in here. Whilst they not be the most unique or anything like that, I think they take a good take on here, or at least put up some imagery that's great. Like, obviously we talk about Bloody Mary, Kane, and Ashley being about the satanic ritual, which pretty much describes how they do the ritual. They're putting the gasoline in a can, lighting it on fire. Bare Hands, which is this kind of whole being used relationship song, which I love the emotion that they have in that, where it starts off kind of soft and stuff, but then they start screaming out bare hands. You can actually just hear the desperation when he's screaming that, and I fucking love it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just always anger, it's not always depression. Like, you're at your funerals, petty as fucking songs.
Yeah.
And like petty in a good way. because it's not supposed to be like, oh, I don't care about you. Like he's pretty much saying, no, I care about you, but it's because I'm fucking hating all this shit. I fucking hate you that much, kind of way. It's not one of those fucking, because I hate every single fucking breakup song or anything I say. It's like, oh, I don't care about you. And this one's just brutally honest, where he's just saying, yeah, I fucking care because this fucking hurt. And it's how it's in this, and that's just great. There's no bullshit in its pettiness. And obviously, Morbid Stuff, which is like the title track here, is very generalized, kind of like intro to the album and stuff like that.
I was bored as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's like, I've been there. Have you never just been there where you've just been doing nothing, so you just randomly think of morbid shit?
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's been there. And, you know, there's like the lines there, just kind of like how he's moved on to different partners, but he's still thinking about his old one and shit like that, and he's considering that part of this morbid thing. Because it's like this kind of the whole topic of morbid stuff here there is not just going about like what he thinks is dark or people dying, but it's like just the thoughts that he has that he hates.
Sure. No, yeah, it's intrusive thoughts, which I can understand for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're solidifying the point I'm trying to come to in my head a little bit, in that I usually am on board for like when artists go personal, when they cover the emotional records and they really get deep and relatable in that way. For whatever reason, I don't care about it here.
I can't say anything that.
No, it's like it's kind of like when your friend tells you a story, and it's kind of like you're just kind of disassociated from it a little bit. Like,
have you ever seen that animation? And it's this a guy in therapy, and he goes like, and she's smiling, and she tells me that she loves me, and I can't feel anything, and the therapist just yells out, "Oh my god, I don't fucking care."
That I was also thinking of the Avatar meme. That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy. I will go on to my onto my essay now of Scorpion Hill. Just because I think lyrically, this is the best fucking song they've ever written. It's not even my favorite off the record, just because I think Kids is a bit more relatable. But it's just, I mean, the first time I actually probably listened to the words on this, I just kind of had a fuck kind of moment. And it's not the first, something to do it, but it's still a fucking great. It's a great emotion to get a song. You have that fuck that's happening.
Yeah,
and that's not always
life.
Not always
life catches up to them.
Yeah, it's not always just like a lyric thing that can happen. You know, thing that happens on here. But like the Scorpion Hill is just this. It's this whole kind of song that describes a man who's pretty much feels like he's wasted his life and falls into depression, but like he's still got like a wife and he's still got kids and stuff. But it also kind of like the kind of ending of it, or how it transpires, kind of seems to put out this belief or this fear that his depression will also become generation, and that his kids will start to get it. Because obviously the line I'm fucking talking about is the very end. It's one of the most open and straight up. It's a very simple, direct verse, but it just hits really fucking hard. And that's the she said, "I found the gun. It was buried beneath piles of clothes where your son sleeps, and I can't pretend to know how this will end." Which has this, like, you think about it and you kind of like, you get an idea, but there's just so many possibilities what it could, because it talks about like a picture of my kid. Yeah, he's smiling at the first day of school beforehand. So it's like, is the kid still kind of alive? Is the kid going to do something? Was it dad who's hidden a gun? It has all these possibilities that are in there, but they all seem like they could actually be fucking the way the story has been told.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite it is quite direct most of the time. So when it has this kind of ambitious and not ambitious, that's the wrong word, ambiguous ending and stuff, you don't really expect it, because kind of you're being told how everything's happening in here, and yet it feels like, yes, this could be so open, because like you know this and you know that, and it's just all this shit can happen straight from it. Plus the chorus on it with the down and out, I've been on the rocks, I've been having pretty dark thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not the greatest lyrics or anything out there, but it's fucking catchy. It works really well with the sound that they do on here. And I mean, there are moments on here which if you had these situations, close to these situations, scary moments. Like when you traveling to work and stuff, or you're getting ready for work, and then suddenly you just get a call out of nowhere that, hey, yeah, you're gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly a fucking, like, I've been in a pretty similar situation. It's not a great time, but I think I think it's one of the only moments where a song goes country, which it does at the start, where it has that kind of like very, it's just like an acoustic guitar, kind of him singing kind of very loudly over. It's one of the few times where I've actually enjoyed something gone and ventured a little into country. I know Scorpion Hill is a song that people either really like it or they just really can't get to it. I don't think hate it.
It's fine,
but
I like it fine enough.
I think I just personally think it's one of the greatest written songs that Pop's ever done, and one of the better emo songs out there. It's vivid yet direct. It flows pretty well. It's not boring. It's one of the best spots that a song can be.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate songs like this, and I'm honestly ashamed that not ashamed. Sorry, I'm disappointed that we didn't really get much songs like that on Unraveling of Pop the Band. By the way, there is a live album that Pop put out for Bandcamp Friday, which I did actually pick up, and it was a live show that they did at London, and they performed Scorpion Hill there, and they extended the song by like 3 minutes.
Oh wow! So it's almost O Comely levels.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's personally just one of the moments on this record. Go, yeah, I really like this fucking album, because I like when a story can be told, and I like when the story is told properly. And it's done here. It has a great ending. There's no point in the song where I'm going like there's no point for me where I'm not invested in the story, even though it's just of a man who's just like is kind of just done with life.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be a lot more self-whining than it actually is, but it's actually kind of engaging in a somewhat dark way. That was my essay. Anyway, that's how I believe that Wood Exports can save this.
I can understand being disappointed that nothing like that appears on Unraveling of Pup the Band, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I also guess that I feel like that album had more of its issues rooted in one of its most popular songs being completely almost untied to the record as a whole, and so maybe there were some other issues there in terms of structure and what they were going for that they have to work out a little bit. But overall, it's just a tone thing, right? Like, they're trying to go for self-referential, like, oh man, we spent all this money with the record, now we got to put out a record, So it's a bit more comedic, a bit more lighter, and maybe a song like Scorpion Hill would have fit, maybe it wouldn't have. It's hard to really say. Does it excuse that their songwriting may not be as good in Unraveling? No, but hard for me to really judge that, I guess, at this point.
Yeah.
Look, I think we'll put off doing Pop for a long time, and I don't mean like 50, but enough time for these to settle on, and I would not be surprised if there's a bit of a change after a while, just because we've done these pretty close together.
Yeah, and then I was thinking about that myself. Like, what if we just waited a while, and we very well could.
Yeah.
So let us forget, and then bring it back.
We'll be waiting right here for... I'm not even going to finish that. Anyway, I like this album. It still holds up for me. I still have problems with this album. It's not the same problems I used to have, but whatever. Favorite, Scorpion Hill and Kids, because Kids are fucking classic. Least favorite, it's always a toss-up, but I still think City as a song isn't as good as Free at Last is, even though City flows into the album better.
Okay.
All right.
Tricks?
I don't really have a favorite or least favorite. I would just, my main thought when listening to this I'd just rather be listening to Unraveling.
Yeah, pretty much. That said, I do like City. I do like, if we're going for what is the best version of that sound that Pup is cultivating, that maybe they should move away from a little bit. I think Closure is a good example. Even Full Blown Meltdown and Free at Last, I kind of liked for their differences. My least favorite here, I think, is Sibling Rivalry.
I like Sibling Rivalry, but it's not close to the best of it. Not a bad choice for favorite, I reckon.
Sure.
All right.
I'm sorry we can't do more for you, Pup, right now, but just focus on getting better, and we'll get back to you.
Look, I will say the best intro that they had to an album and become their set closer is still the If This Tour Doesn't Kill You.
Yeah.
So maybe when we do The Dream Is Over, we'll have a bit more praise universally. Until then, fuck you.
Well then, yeah.
So I think it's only fair. Which one are you ready to rail on then yourself?
Look, the Shakey Graves album would be good if he
Stop what?
stopped singing on this one.
You're cutting out still.
If he stopped singing.
Okay, there we go.
Damn.
That's what I needed to hear. I disagree completely.
Damn. Yeah.
His voice isn't bad, but the lyrics, like, nothing.
Jeez, dude. Whoa.
See, like, this is what I wanted Shovels and Rope to be.
Yeah.
This is really good. This is I don't know. I don't even know why we even bothered with that other album. This like, yeah, Trix. You even called "And the War Came" Shakey Graves' least album of the bunch.
Yeah.
The weakest, you said, and I think "Can't Wake Up" is definitely the weakest. Like I appreciate his drive to experiment with each new big album he puts out. But I think there's really something to kind of the unbridled lo-fi country sound he has in these first couple albums. And I think here, you know...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And The War Came is his attempt to be more modern country and explore stuff with that Roll the Bones is not. But yeah, Esme Palmer does a really good job on the duet songs.
Yep.
I wish country sounded like this more often. I would be into it.
I enjoyed this as much as I did enjoy Can't Wake Up, because I thought instrumentally this one was a lot more enjoyable. I just songs like Dearly Departed, listening to the whole don't you know the house is haunted kind of shit.
Yeah,
I know as you're saying this. As it's like
written as a joke, and then people seem to like it, so they recorded it.
Yeah, I don't seem to trust what people like at the moment. That being said, I do agree. Esme Patterson, fantastic vocalist in here. I think she actually saves it quite a bit with some of her performances. That's not to say that Shakey Graves is putting it bad.
Oh, Esme Patterson. I think I said Palmer.
I enjoyed this as much as I as I said, I enjoyed this as much as Can't Wake Up. I think I could get through this, and I wasn't hating any of the tunes. Some of them were enough. I mean, even the instruments Dearly Departed, great. I liked I think it was If Not For You, which was a little bit more like distorted in its sound. I could be a bit wrong. I mean, Family and Genus, I know, was a lot more like kind of softer and say ambient, but it wasn't really ambient. But I think there were some times where I thought the instrumentation was trying to get to me. It wasn't meaning I'm too big into this, but and again the lyric. But yeah, I enjoyed this more than I thought I would.
I think songs like If Not For You and Pansy Waltz are interesting to come back to because we've listened to demos of them before. And I think I kind of like doing the Grief Eater thing with Polar Winter, seeing how If Not For You evolved and became this version is cool. Like, it's still, this version sounds very Roll the Bonesy.
Yeah.
And there's cool falsetto in it. And I think it's a really nice look at what he can still do by himself that Esme is not in, because that's the kind of thing. It's like, cool, here he is with a duet partner. Here he is by himself. Look at the differences. And I think If Not For You is a great example of that. And Hardwire is a similar thing.
Hardwire is a banger.
I keep expecting Roll the Bones with like about half of these intros, but I know it's not going to be. Which
one? Put in the next borderline. I was still the most unexpected. Yet probably should have expected, because if I'm correct, we've probably touched it a couple of times. Shakey Graves is actually somewhat popular in it.
He's popular in Texas and seems to be popular. Right. And you cut out what?
Yeah, I was saying in America is that's
a bit. Yeah. I never heard him before the podcast, but
well, how do you think I am over here? This type of sound doesn't even get touched on underground radio. Yeah, like I know, like I have family who likes country a lot. They've never heard of him, as far as I understand. So it feels like this is kind of the alternative underground country that has some recognition, some cultness to it, but overall, it's not. It's not Brad Paisley or whatever the fuck the guy's name is. Now, I did say he doesn't really get touched on underground radio, but I actually went to check, and he does slightly get played. In fact, on Double J, which is supposed to be the older version of Triple J, so it's like all the artists that aren't really for the youth. He has been played 4 times.
4 times in
Wow.
what time?
In 2020.
Okay, cool.
And those 4 songs were, 2 of them were Ready or Not, the new one, Dearly Departed ones, and Kids These Days.
Kids These Days is a good song. I like the song a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, there's not really much play of Shakey.
Sure. I think it's kind of like, this is kind of the album where it's kind of, you know, if you remember the zeitgeist of Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga and A Star Is Born, I feel like, you know, the Esme Patterson stuff kind of reminds me of that. These two powerhouses coming together, duetting it out.
As someone who's never seen A Star Is Born, I agree.
Here's the thing, I've never fully seen it either.
I remember I remember just seeing the poster and just going, "Oh, cool! A movie designed to sell the soundtrack." No thanks.
Shallow is a song people keep talking about.
Sure they do. I ain't talking about it though.
That's very fair. You're not talking about it. We're barely talking about it.
I don't care about it, okay?
I also like that, you know, he's still trying to find ways to incorporate his weird magnetic wire tape recordings and skits, whatever. They're not really super prominent here, but they're still there.
Yeah.
Like there's still like a good chance of being kind of just funning around, just putting some sounds in there just to make it sound like he's eating something or whatever.
This is the beginning of the album.
Yes.
Yeah.
That literally is the beginning.
It's just goofy fun, the kind of skits he does.
Yeah. I think overall Roll the Bones is still my favorite of his, for sure.
Yeah.
I think this is somewhere in there with Horse He Rode In On, either before or after it, depending. But I think it might be second.
I would like to take a moment to discuss the songs that we had listened to demos of.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question just beforehand, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the last Shakey Graves cover? Am I finally over?
No. There's a lot more.
Ritz, surely you know Shakey Graves Day, in which he puts out a bunch of stuff on Bandcamp for like 3 days and then takes it off again.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do that too, but it doesn't mean I get a day named after me.
Oh, the mayor of Austin, Texas didn't talk to you.
Good.
Well, maybe I'm not going to finish that joke, but imagine if I just had something offensive.
Maybe if you were shaking in your graves.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
And this house that is haunted by you.
Tricks, I've done interrupting. Go on.
So demos, if not for you and Pan's, which versions of them did you like better?
Dominic, please answer so I can.
I like these versions better.
Yeah, that one.
I like the version of I think I like the demos better myself. Definitely for Pansy Waltz. I don't like this recording of Pansy Waltz as much as the demo.
That's
the
fair.
demo just feels like it's more organic. That makes sense.
Sure.
And like more raw. And like I really appreciate that. And like the joke in the beginning of the unique rabbit.
Oh God, yeah, I forgot about
it's just,
that. That is fun.
It just captures like a vibe, and it really makes the song like a more personal friendship song, if that makes any sense.
Sure.
Like you can tell that he fucked up and he's like trying to make amends for a friendship that he kind of burned.
But now I'm just thinking of all the better parts of Roll the Bones. Whereas I think, you know, that this song is not as strong in Roll the Bones, but it is a song that does have some space here.
Yeah.
So I think it does better work here personally. I do not for you though. I can't see the argument that version's cool, the demo, but this new version's so much better.
I think it just might be the case of I've listened to the demo more and I just really appreciate that demo.
Tricks can't listen to songs unless they're not fully produced.
It's a curse, okay?
Look at this. This person left the fucking speaker too close to the microphone. Nice. Lo-fi aesthetic.
I get that.
Only listen to demo versions of Mac DeMarco albums, okay?
I only listen to Mac DeMarco coughing on cigarettes, okay?
Oh yeah, that is the superior indie sound, you know.
Choo choo.
Hey Alexa, play Mac DeMarco shoves the drumstick up his ass 24 hours.
Here Comes the Cowboy is a great album.
I still don't forgive you fucking two for putting that above fucking Infest a Rat's Nest.
I will listen to
Honestly,
the album.
I flip flop on it.
I still don't. I will listen to Here Comes the Cowboy any day over Rat's Nest. I'm sorry.
Fucking dick.
As someone who is wanting you to pick Omnium Gatherum, I'm telling you this.
Hey, maybe you'll get your wish, or maybe I'm petty.
Maybe.
I've enjoyed King Giz a lot more since then. I just think that particular album struck a chord with me.
Gotcha.
Cowboy.
You mean? Okay. So I was confused which one and which chord. To be honest, chord was it the?
It was K.
Found the H chord.
K. Heart to heart.
But this is a fun album, but it's not my favorite Shakey Graves album.
Yeah, I somewhat agree. I enjoyed this more than the ones that you two seem to enjoy the most, but I didn't enjoy this as much as the one that you two hate the most.
Well, I think I hate it more. Trick seems to like it a bit more.
Yeah, wait until we get into some of his demos and some of the Shakey Graves days EPs, and
I'm gonna can't pick it before episode 100. I got a couple weeks of salvation.
And there's a live performance I want to do that I was telling Dominic had like a very live at Jittery Joe's vibe.
This is just like
so there's the kid crying the whole time.
This is like my Lucas Skookus and my Neutral Milk Hotel days all crammed into one artist. I love it.
Yes.
I'm sure Lucas would love that you compared him to, or put him in the same list as Hotel.
Lucas Skookus is the new Jeff Mangum. I'm gonna say it right here.
Well, we are good at making claims that aren't true. Remember how last week I said the pop album?
You said the pop album what?
Would be a number one. We all make claims that happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume we're done with the Shakey Graves talk.
Hey, we covered it. The lore is there.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have covered it. Even like I said, this is an episode of also ran albums that are good but not amazing comparatively to some of the best work by these artists, I think.
Yeah.
But good album. I like Big Time Nashville Star. I can't talk.
Big Time Nashville Star is a good tune.
Also like House of Winston and If Not For You. Call It Heaven's also pretty good. My least favorite is probably, I don't even know, Perfect Parts. I'm just going to throw a track out there.
All right. Ritz?
I don't have a favorite or a least favorite. I just want to share this. I picked 5 seconds.
Yeah.
For the context for everyone who can't see it, it's the Babe It's Time, and I've just said I made it to go, Babe It's Time to do another Shakey Graves album.
Yeah.
I think I found the episode art. That's just the episode art right there.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. All right. Trix, you as the resident Shakey Graves expert, what is your opinion?
Favorite off of this is Hardwired. I don't really have a least favorite. This is like the Shakey Graves album I'm least familiar with. But yeah.
Okay.
I really don't have that too much more to add.
Fair enough. Which then brings us to my old standby.
Outback Steakhouse.
Let's get out. Let's go out back tonight.
Yes, the Of Montreal album that spawned the infamous Outback Steakhouse commercial theme that haunted our TVs in the mid-2000s. It is Of Montreal, the Sunlandic Twins. We have come full circle now. We've covered pretty much everything in the most famous Of Montreal era. And yep. I picked them probably 9 or 10 out of almost 100 episodes. So I don't know what that says. I'm obsessed, or I need to get better music taste. But
I was scared to go back into Of Montreal until I remembered, oh wait, this is a good era.
Yeah.
So the thing that's cool about this album, and we also did the bonus EP as well, which is just kind of there with it, It's on the final. So, but the thing that's cool about this is that it's very chill comparatively.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is a very smooth of Montreal album.
There is some fantastic bass on this album.
Yes.
Well, you say it's chill, but there are also some kind of poppy highlights. I mean, the song off here is "So Begins Our Alibi," which is that's their daughter's name.
Yes, it is a celebration of the birth of their daughter.
Yeah.
Mm.
Which every time I think of the lyrics, so obviously when they say "So begins," the next word's gonna be "alibi" now, Odyssey.
Yeah.
How could you do this to me, Kevin?
Odyssey, Alibi. Is that why they named the daughter Alibi after Odyssey? I don't know. I mean, I think songs like Oslo in the Summertime and Wraith Pin to the Mist and other games are just really good examples of what this album is about, and that they kind of cover a little bit of funk that Kevin's good for, a little bit of the electronic that Kevin's good for, but these are songs that are not delving deep into like mercurial psyches.
Yeah.
This is
My
kind of
favorite part, just very quickly though,
Yeah.
my favorite part is knowing that you could probably put on any of these old Montreal songs this era, just in a random playlist and say it's one of the albums, and I would fall for it.
Yeah.
like this is muted Kevin. This is Kevin before the break in a way. Even though it's kind of talked about here a little bit, but it's the hybrid of like the old cutesy like Baroque pop that they experimented with so much in the era that we still really haven't covered beyond like Cherry Peel.
Yeah.
That I struggle with the most, but still has a lot of the essence of what literally came after with Hissing Fauna and all of that.
Mhm.
Like, this is only a couple albums away from Skeletal Lamping, and there's a lot of connection, I feel like, but it's just a different mental state, a different just angle for a lot of it.
I mean, I like this record, and I'm talking about just of Montreal on the whole when I go into them, because it's hard to kind of just talk about of Montreal and single albums sometimes, but just in case. These are one of those albums where I listen to and I go like, yeah, I actually really enjoyed listening. Then I would just never go back to Hissing Fauna and Skeletal Lamping, and it's that much better.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think that's good. Like, there's a reason why this is the 9th one or whatever that we've covered.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but it's not. It doesn't have the same prescience. It doesn't have the same immediacy. It doesn't have the same anything. Even Tricks, you picked Satanic Panic. That was the one that you picked, even.
That was the one I picked.
And I think that was much more of a transitional one than this one, even, where this is just Hissing Fauna, but before Hissing Fauna, like chiller. But if you look at the bonus EP too, there's some really interesting stuff in there. I really like Family Nouveau, the bonus song that it's only on some versions.
The one on mine, yeah.
It's interesting because it kind of is again about like family and Alibi, also referenced, but like there's a certain amount of like, oh my god, looking back at it, like how Kevin's basically just celebrating that they finally got a family, that it happened to them, and
How could this happen to me?
And then you just see the next like 10 to 15 years.
Yeah.
And there's something really interesting about that.
There was just a lot of random moments where there would be just a whole song talking about the odyssey of Kevin's relationship and his family. Remember No Conclusion?
That was also a song from Icons Abstractly.
Yeah, which is around the same era here.
Yes.
He was really onto his family, and I'm just saying that it was still better than that time where he hooked up with a new girl and then put up a whole album saying like, look, I'm totally over her, man. Look at this new chick.
Yeah.
I miss this era of where he's not sure if he wanted a family. I had to check out my trophy wife.
I mean, this is the bonus EP is where you have Nina on the soundtrack. Like, Keep Sending Me Black Fireworks is her vocals.
Yeah, that was actually going to be one of the ones that I was going to mention. So I actually really liked her vocals in that. I was really surprised to not hear Kevin take pretty much any vocal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a very nice song actually. Again, you're all right. This is a chill album, despite it having kind of poppier moments. There are also definitely a lot of song titles of here which have gone for the of Montreal title generator, like especially in the bonuses here, Art Snob Solution, The Death of a Shade of a Hue, I Was a Landscaping Dream, and Forecast Fascist Future.
Hey, Kevin forecasted the fascist future. You know, it happened.
Yeah. Oh my God, Kevin predicted Hitler.
But I mean, even like this is an interesting one for having even just like the small minute tracks that are just like little interludes that you don't super see anywhere else. Like Our Spring is Sweet Not Fleeting is just a cool little tone piece. Or I think October is Eternal is the one that ends in just like a minute and a half of just like moaning.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
So I mean, there's I was struggling to figure out why I like Of Montreal, despite them having a sound that is so identifiable compared to like Pup, who also has a very identifiable sound and style. And I think the reason I like Of Montreal better is because they generally try a lot of different things even with that style, and still each album seems to have a lot of differences you can really easily point to and be like, yeah.
Well, let's not hide the one big similarity as well. I grew up with Pup mostly in my uni days, and that's like how long ago? That was 2016. I was saying that started. When did you say you started listening to Of Montreal?
2011.
Yep. What would that have been for you?
High school days.
It's not exactly the same level of education, but it's still similar enough. It's like, yeah, you've grown up.
I can't argue with that exactly. I wouldn't say that I was listening to a ton of Sunlandic Twins then, but yeah.
But I mean, that still means that Of Montreal does, like, especially a lot of this era, would hold a like a specific kind of, not a specific, but like a place in your head.
Sure.
Maybe your heart, maybe other parts of your body. I don't know. You got prepared, but
every day feels like Sunday, baby. Every day feels so good.
The of Montreal butt plug.
Ooh,
I love that.
How much is it?
How many albums are there?
I must buy this. No, I was asking Tricks price of the Of Montreal butt plug. I need to add it to my collection of CDs.
It's $1 for how many albums Of Montreal has put out.
Aww.
And now it's up to you.
Fucking albums do they have?
That's what I just asked.
How many do they have? Fuck. I have 20 Of Montreal records on my computer. It says 21 here, but that's just I have all those extra files that aren't officially an album or EP or a collection. Actually, on that point, when are we doing the early 4-track recordings, which is not actually an interesting album outside of the titles?
I actually like the early 4-track recordings. We could do those eventually. I think those are fun. I think those are better than Cherry Peel, honestly.
Alright. Cherry Peel's the boring record.
Yeah.
I like little bits of Cherry Peel. I think the era in between Cherry Peel and Satanic Panic is an interesting one that I will probably not cover super soon. Oh god. If you really want a fucking cutesy overload, holy shit.
Alright.
Like fucking
I just want Dustin Hoffman to finally get the closure with the bathtub.
Yes, the titles of Dustin Hoffman offers lame possible explanation for missing bathtub. Dustin Hoffman becomes indignant and wets himself. Dustin Hoffman's wife comes home.
Yeah. Dustin Hoffman's children enter the bathroom, or Dustin Hoffman's children don't enter the bathroom.
Yes, when Of Montreal titles become interesting and fun and silly, they really go for it. Just naming this whole fucking demo album is a really fucking good example.
Or if he is protecting our nation, then who will protect Big Oil, our children? Which is probably the most political Of Montreal title. Where we got Christmas isn't safe for animals.
Yeah, this is the fucking era of fucking all this shit though. I gotta make sure that this isn't just like a recut of fucking Kokolakot or fucking how the fuck you pronounce that. Killicott.
Yeah, Coca-Cola Clot Asleep in the Poppies, a variety of whimsical verse.
That's a 70-minute album of theirs that we have not covered still.
Yep.
Damn.
I believe that has the longest song of Montreal's put out. The Hopeless Opus of the Great Battle of the Unfriendly Ridiculous. That's almost 18 minutes.
Yep.
Damn.
1756. It's also got one of their shortest with Coca-Cola's Tea Party at 43 seconds. Not that there is their shortest, they've obviously got a lot shorter songs.
Mm-hmm.
Mimi Malo, actually, the beatnik version, 31 seconds.
Right, so that's why I'm like, we gotta cover this shit first before we understand all this other like beatnik version. Fucking barely Asian at the Beefcake Horizon, spooky spider chandelier. I remember listening to Spooky Spider Chandelier. It's a silly ass song.
Good album.
I like this album. It's not my favorite of Montreal. It's not in the top 5, but
it's a really fun album.
I like, as the fan that I am, I'm surprised that Family Nouveau, I'd never heard of it before, but that became a quick highlight for me. I think just because there is a wholesomeness to it that is just so just gunned down by the passage of time. It's really unique in that way. It's like everything about Icon's Abstract Thee and kind of the personal shit that was happening, but like all just kind of sucked into one little song that barely got a release.
Yeah.
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 I had something I wanted to say, and that is that the bass on this album is very like Paul McCartney-esque.
Okay.
Which, fun fact, did you know that Paul McCartney was in a band before he was in Wings?
No.
That's impossible. That's impossible.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney invented Wings, though.
Yeah,
he made it so birds can fly.
Yeah, wasn't Wings the first band ever?
It's something like that, but apparently he did like some demos with Melissa.
With Maleficent from Disney?
No, his wife. I can't think of her name.
Linda?
It's like Linda. Linda.
Yeah,
that's it. Yes, Linda McCartney. The Paul.
Every time I forget Paul McCartney's wife names, I just remember the old joke about what you call a dog with wings. It's a very offensive joke, by the way, but that is the one thing I remember to remember Linda McCartney's name.
Gotcha.
I do like the lyric in Art Snob Solutions. I think it's like, come on, authors, get your guns. It's time to kill everyone. It's a fun little lyric. I think the beginning of this album is probably the weakest part. Requiem for Ohm 2 and I Was Never Young. They're fine songs. They're very of Montreal, but I think Wraith Pinned to the Mist, maybe just for the cultural zeitgeist being the Outback Steakhouse song, is really where it starts hitting off for me.
There is a phenomenal bass groove on that song too. I sent that to my father earlier in the night with no context, and he never got back to me. But I'm gonna assume he enjoyed it.
Just if he's confused, just send him the Outback commercial.
Yeah.
Trick or Ritz, how do you feel about the Outback commercial?
I don't know how I feel about the Outback commercial. I don't know. I'm gonna have to tell you after dinner, but for some reason, I'm feeling like a steak.
You're feeling Outback tonight?
Feeling like I got 16-ounce steak. That's right. For some reason, I'm using the word ounce to describe my weight of food over here. Yeah, steak. Yeah.
Life will be better tomorrow.
I love how they always describe it as Outback Steakhouse. So there's no fucking place like that in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is an Outback Steakhouse. It's Penrith because Penrith likes American themselves. That's it. Doesn't exist anywhere else.
So are they considered an American restaurant then, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Do they play up any of the Australian stereotypes there, or do they try to keep it really American?
I've never been inside an Outback Steakhouse, so I cannot tell you.
Fair enough.
Don't really plan to be, because if I'm going to get a steak, I'm already shelling out a bunch of money to buy it anyway, so I'm going to go get a proper steak. I'm not going to go get it from the franchise.
Fair enough.
I want my steak properly cooked and an actual good steak. I ain't going for that stupid, oh, check it out, we had the 48-hour slow-cooked steak. No, I want you to cook my steak right fucking now, like it's supposed to be fucking cooked, like a proper goddamn steak, because we already figured out many, many years ago that it works. We do not need to keep changing up the fucking formula for steak when we already figured out how to make steak work. If you want to change something, change the fucking salad of vegetables you put on the side that no one gives a shit about. No one fucking talks about the steak and goes, oh, yeah, look at that salad was delicious. No, they all fucking talk about the steak, because we got the steak fucking right, so you don't change how we fucking steak. You go into the salad or the fucking veggie. Thank you.
I will say I got an ad for Outback Steakhouse earlier in the day today, like for real actually, and they were advertising something called like the sweet steak, and like they poured a sugar glaze on top of the steak.
Oh, that should just be banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, you can baste your steak. Like, no, I'm not trying to say with the steak you can't do that shit. There are people who use like this garlic butter and stuff in that. It looks fucking delicious. Even if you do, I personally can't have chili, but I see people who've done the butter mix up with chili and stuff, and I think it's pretty interesting. Putting a bunch of fucking sugar on your steak? No, you know what? I can just have ice cream after my steak dinner. After a while, if I want that. I ain't eating steak for the candy.
Sure.
This is probably the most I've been passionate about anything this episode.
I will say, if ever we somehow meet up in the States, I do think it should be at an Outback Steakhouse.
Get fucked.
So
we ain't doing steakhouses on my watch. Nah. Instead, you're gonna hear me go like, oh yeah, let's go down to the pub, and you're gonna be like, oh, there is no pubs. I'm just gonna go there and just stare at everything blankly and just go, what the fuck am I doing here?
we'll go to a
It's
bar.
gonna be a good time.
Yeah, we'll go to a bar.
Let's go.
So I guess the thing to say about this album, Sunlandic Twins and the bonus EP, if you like, you know, the hissing fauna era, Georgie Fruit era of Montreal, but maybe you're older and you just don't want the downer as much. You know, you just want things to be a bit more chill. This is the one for you.
Yeah.
It's still a bit hopeful, still a bit, whimsical. And that whimsical does not last. You're just angrily typing on your keyboard?
That's not me. That is my partner playing golf with.
Ah.
You can hear the keyboard.
Favorites from me? Go ahead.
To be fair, I can completely understand it. You go ahead.
I was saying, if you were that mad about the Outback Steakhouse, I rescind the comment. I apologize. I didn't mean to make you upset. But my favorites for this album, Wraith Pin to the Mist, So Begins Our Alibi, Also in the Summertime. I also like bonus EP tracks, Keep Sending Me Black Fireworks and Family Nouveau. If I had to pick least favorites, least favorite of the album itself is Requiem for Ohm 2. And least favorite on bonus EP is probably Actors Opprobrium.
My favorite type of steak is done medium rare. My least favorite is well done.
I like it still mooing, just like slice it off the cow and walk it through a warm room.
That's too undercooked.
Well done for me, please.
All
right,
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
You two are well done fuckers?
No.
We're all on the spectrum here of rare to medium to well.
Dominic?
Yeah.
Dominic, do you burn your pizza too?
As a devil's advocate, sometimes I will call the pizza place and ask them to burn it, and that just means to leave it in for an extra 5 minutes and get it extra crispy.
There is only one case in which well done is acceptable, and that's when it's a really thin piece of steak that's really cheap, so that you wouldn't trust it having any bit of undercookedness into it, and then you have it on a steak and egg roll.
What if you're smoking the meat?
When you smoke it, you can still get it to medium rare.
A lot of cuts when you're smoking though work better when they go to well done. It
depends on the cut. I will give you that.
It has to deal with how the fat renders down inside the meat.
If you have a T-bone, that's probably going to be done medium. Medium. But
if you got short ribs, you're going to want to go well done.
Yeah.
Sure. I'll take y'all word for it.
Steak is a very important thing, Dominic.
Yes.
Else, why did you bring up off Montreal?
The adults are talking.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
Anyway, my actual favorites is So Begins Our Alibi, and I do like Keep Sending Me Black Fireworks EP as well. Least favorite, Probably something like Oslo in the summertime.
All right. Favorites for me, I'm gonna go with Ohm 2 and Wraith Pinned the Mist. And I don't really have a least favorite.
Somehow our most inconsequential of Montreal discussion, yet I feel like so much else has happened now.
Yeah.
Oh, we went from Paul McCartney to Well Done Steak.
No,
Yeah.
That's about the same thing to my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm
sure Paul McCartney would very much love that.
That Paul McCartney was in a band before Wings is one of my favorite jokes that I've come up with because it's just such a dumb concept.
I can't believe that was the joke that you. It was just whole episode putting out the Paul McCartney with Wings joke. It's been done.
That's my favorite joke though.
It's been done and it's been done worse. I tell you. I already did tell you. Anyway,
so
rankings: number 3, Shakey Graves; number 2, of Montreal; number 1, Pup.
And I'm number 3, Pup; number 2, of Montreal; number 1, Shakey Graves.
I'm gonna agree with Domino.
Album over EP, but only nominally because the album has more good tracks.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna pick first. I'm not picking first the next.
I might as well pick first because I think I've already pretty much spoiled what it's gonna be.
No, you haven't. No, what could it possibly be as I'm currently typing it up in Spotify? Playlist and yeah, there we go.
Oh, you're testing me. You are testing me.
Prove me wrong, you coward. Come on, do it. That's what I thought.
I'm going to pick Omnium Gatherum.
Oh, you did. You did make me have to turn this off. Oh well.
No, I'm picking Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Bring it back. We're doing Kendrick Lamar.
Doing Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
I can only take the jokes so far.
Yeah.
I was hoping for 5 seconds. Coward.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. We're doing Kendrick Lamar's double album. Is anyone else brave enough to do a double album this week?
No.
Yeah, fair enough. Chooks, I'm making you go before me.
Okay, I'm pulling one completely out of my ass. There's a guy I follow on Twitter who posts doom and psychedelic weekly recommendations of new stuff. And I went yoink on that list tonight. And I'm going to be doing the album Do You Fall by the band Weed, spelled with 3 E's.
Oh, damn.
Do
You Fall by Weed?
Yes.
Now, okay. I'm going to have to ask aloud here, because this is a 2022 week that would.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a 2022 album, I'm pretty sure.
No, it is 2021.
Oh, fuck. Come back to me then. I'll grab another one off the list. I thought it was 2022.
Okay, no weed.
Look, part of me wanted to go last year, but look, I guess we'll go. I am gonna have to spoil it. We are doing an album that from an artist that we have covered before. Dominic very much expecting that I'd be doing as such. And look, there is one that is coming out pretty recently, and I say coming out pretty recently. It's not out yet, but it's out on Friday. So fuck both of you. We're doing Ballpark Music's new album when it comes out on Friday.
Shit.
So we're waiting the entire week?
You're waiting the entire week, then doing it at the end. You have 3 singles to listen to prepare you.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, shit.
You didn't expect that one, Dominic, did you?
No, you called my bluff, that's for sure. Weirder and Weirder by Ballpark Music, huh?
Yeah, we're doing Weirder and Weirder. I think Weird and Weirder. It's coming out on Friday, so it's not able to listen to now, but yeah, you gotta come.
Give me a second. I'm scrolling. I didn't expect this to just kind of.
You know what? No, fuck it. I'm doing Kendrick Lamar and Omnium Gatherum.
Okay, fuck. Shit.
This is gonna be the longest fucking week. It's the last 2022 and probably the last proper album albums before we do episode 100, so I think.
Okay, I found one. I'm going to be doing the album Hypnose by Vision 3D.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised you didn't just try to like steal the fan club wallet off me.
I was tempted, but like I had already had my mind set on doing like something psychedelic.
Vision 3D, you said, or what the?
Yeah, it's
Hypnose.
I think the album is called HYP Nose by Vision 3D.
Here, I think I'm linking it in the chat.
Yeah, it's a Bandcamp link.
Ah, okay, so it's not actually on Spotify.
Yeah, I'm going for a fucking Bandcamp release this week, I guess.
Oh, this is a Belgian band.
Yeah, it's the first one I clicked on that was 2022.
Fair enough.
Also, I'm very serious. We're doing Omnium Gatherum and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. Okay.
Dominic just wants all the double albums out of the way.
This is the year of the double album.
Year of the double album.
Year of the double album.
Maybe the true prank all along was pick Gizzard on Will. But the best part of the King Gizzard record starts off with an 18-minute song.
Hell yeah. We like length here on this podcast. Do not take that out of context.
Except for both, for me and probably Dominic, actually. I'm not a good appreciator of it. And I still will be until next. Catch me. I have been Ritalin. That was the worst segue of all time. But you can catch me on my website, ritalin.github.io. I used to have a YouTube channel that's...
You super cut out there, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one clicks those links anyway.
So the albums we're doing this week: Vision 3D's Hypnose. I'm choosing to kill us all and do Kendrick Lamar's Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, as well as King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's Omnium Gatherum. And Riddle has decided to choose the new Ballpark music record Weirder and Weirder, which comes out as a recording next Friday, which is the 27th of May.
Yep.
I think this is the weirdest current year episode we've ever done.
Damn straight.
This podcast has been chugging along for almost 3 years and it keeps surprising me.
Good. We need to keep surprising ourselves. That is how we continue to grow and change.
Yeah.
We can't have keep having these stretches where we just pick Alex Cameron and Alice Glass and expect it's going to be self-sustaining.
Yeah, I need to get my toes dirty, dig into some of the more weird, grungy stuff again.
Yeah, I need to clean my toes. I haven't showered in a while.
We need we need another Haxon.
Vision 3D might be that.
Maybe.
Now, I do have a fun game planned for next week, so you two get ready to help me choose what I pick for 99 a week from now.
Oh boy.
Well, 99's gonna mostly. I think we did say we are gonna pick albums for it, but that's mostly gonna.
That's mostly gonna be stuff that I have an idea that for my choices for that, so I'm gonna have you two help me with that.
Fair enough.
In the meantime, this is a Dissonant Waves. You can catch us all on dissonantwaves.space, dissonantwaves.io. I wish that was real. That's actually not. We're Dissonant Waves on Twitter, Dissonant Waves on YouTube, Dissonant Waves, Dissonant Waves, Dissonant Waves. My name is Dominic.
From the rooftops.
My name is Dominic. You can catch me online at DACICHOCKI on Twitter. I also guest host on the Games My Mom Found podcast roughly every month or so. So check me out there if you want to hear more of my rambling. I also have a YouTube channel, Dominic Chikoki. It's not really worth checking out, but my short film beat is on there, and that's cool. I also write about video games here and there, so stay forward to more on that.
I've been Trix. You can catch me under the bridge to the city, giving out hints to new players. And I also have Twitter at Procrastinaut, where I just post dumb shit all the time. Yeah.
Yes, Miss Moon. How can you help me?
To access the city, you are going to need the Scroll of Yendor.
You two are nerds.
Yeah.
And what about you?
At the end of this podcast.
Ritz.
I remember I plugged mine earlier.
Oh, right. Yeah, then it cut out, so I didn't really hear a lot of it. Great. Cool.
Yeah.
yeah, so that's gonna do it for us, everybody. Have a good week.
Have a good one.
Have a good one, y'all.
I already got the episode art done. I just got to edit it a little bit to include the information. I'm very happy about that.